How would it impact your life if you were to start earning an extra 3.2K per day from just your laptop and a Wi-Fi connection? These are the results of George. Now, George is one of our Wise Gentleman e-commerce mentees, and he started within our team just 6 months ago with zero experience, zero knowledge, and actually at the time he started with us, he'd never set up an e-commerce store before. Throughout this mentee interview, George is going to share exactly how he's gone from zero to 3.2K per day in this 6 months time frame. He's going to share what challenges that he's faced throughout his journey and how he's overcome them. And most importantly, how you can also build your e-commerce empire, become financially free, start earning 3.2K per day like George, for example, but actually far, far exceed that in the future. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another video. Today, I'm joined with a very, very special guest, Mr. George Evans. Now, George is my mentee, so someone I'm mentoring on a one-on-one basis, well, one-on-two basis, through the entire process of building, growing, and scaling his e-commerce brand. Now, unfortunately, for privacy purposes, we can't share exactly what the brand he's building is, but he's building a brand in the men's clothing space, a very, very niched company, and he's absolutely smashed it. I mean, I've got a few different questions to ask him because George has a lot of wisdom within e-commerce. Obviously, he's been mentored by myself through the entire process. And not only has he built a highly successful brand in a very short space of time, he's also developed a lot of skill sets and has just a ton of value to provide for someone who's getting started, who's absolutely fresh in e-commerce. So, I mean, George, before you introduce yourself, did you have any experience in e-commerce before you joined our mentorship?
No, nothing. I always fancied it as a little way to potentially calm my PT down from the main job, but absolutely never
Yeah.
sold anything other than personal training.
It's amazing. I love it. So it's absolutely zero experience. And I'm just very, very excited. So, I mean, George, please could you give an introduction to yourself, who you are, what you do for a living, etc., just everything really.
Yeah, sure. So I'm George. I'm pretty fresh into the e-commerce world. We got into the game in about April, trialed a couple of products, a couple of bits that didn't work, and then teamed up with a good friend of mine in a pretty niche sector, to say the least. Um, and we've been scaling it, building it, testing loads of bits. Yeah, since April, I believe we got our first sale while I was actually out in Miami, to be fair, on a little holiday, getting that first notification for a sale, and it's a little bit of a buzz. Sometimes you get a good sign when you're doing something good in your life and you get a little ping notification. It puts you know you're in the right place doing the right things, and we had a bit of a moment like that. So yeah,
I love that.
uh,
So
we've rolled it
April,
ever since.
it's April now, it's November today. So started this business when it was about 7 months ago, roughly. George, how much in sales did you make just yesterday from your e-commerce business?
So yesterday was a roller coaster. I think we ticked over the $4,000 mark. I think 4 minutes to midnight, I got that final ping of $109, which took us over the 4 grand mark, which is pretty wild for a first Black Friday, and not what I was expecting. That's over double what I was expecting,
Wow.
hoping
So
for anyway.
4K in one day from your e-commerce business, and you just started this year, and you've not had any experience in e-commerce.
No, it's pretty sweet. It's
That's
not a bad place
incredible.
to be.
Wow. Wow. I mean, what motivated yourself? Obviously, PT, personal training, the gym. You still do PTing in the gym as
Yeah.
well. What motivated yourself to actually start your e-commerce journey?
So I love PT, and I want to get that out there early. I absolutely love PTing, but I'm 35. At some point, I need to stop trading time for money, and I wanted something that would work for me while I could enjoy my life. PT can, for a smaller amount, maybe 3 or 4 hours a day, have something in the background ticking along, making me money, and yeah, just give me a pretty wild lifestyle. So yeah, I thought this was a great opportunity to up my skills, use some of the marketing and sales skills that I do have from PTing, and try my hand at something new. And yeah, no idea how it was going to go. Obviously, I think I mentioned at the start that we tried a couple of products first and didn't hit the ground, didn't feel like a product I wanted to sell. It wasn't an enjoyable one. Whereas what we're selling now is a whole lot of fun. Slightly peculiar, but that kind of makes it a little bit more enjoyable. I think those that know what it is will understand what I mean.
Yeah.
That's amazing, buddy. And obviously, so you've started growing very, very tremendously, and in e-commerce, it's all about momentum. So you might not necessarily get the first or the second product right, as you didn't, and a lot of it requires testing. Okay, I always like to say marketing is simply a nine-letter word for test. And you take action, you put something as a test, you analyze the results, and then you iterate and you take action off the back of the results using all the lessons that you've learned. And that's exactly what George has done. And he's persisted, through one or two products that didn't necessarily work out as expected. And now he's doing tremendously, finding absolutely massive success. So, I mean, it's awesome to see. In terms of kind of next steps for you, George, over the next, let's say over the next year, what do you want to achieve? What have you got planned to achieve from an e-commerce perspective?
So I want to
What
get
are your
this
goals?
scale it to the point where it's effectively running itself. And then I want to start another one, maybe two or three, to be fair. I get excited. I'm an absolute child at heart. So if I find something that works, I want to do a lot more of it. If you get a couple more shops, a couple more stores up and running, enjoy it, build some websites out, and then just kind of take a little bit of a step back. I'm old. I'm well old now. I feel it. Where everyone's talking about personal brand and everything like this, everyone's going big on social media. I'm like the opposite. I want to earn my money and just go and live a quiet lifestyle, doing loads of dumb shit, but not with fancy flashing cameras and everything. So I'm like, yeah, the next 12 months is going to be scaling, launching, and kind of taking a bit of a step back at the end of it.
Yeah,
But we got a long way to go before we can do the stepping back bit. We just gotta turn the afterburners on a little bit.
yeah. And you see e-commerce as the vehicle. Because one of the beautiful things about e-com is the fact you don't need your face on camera at all. And I mean, for people watching, have you put your face on camera for your e-commerce business? And do you need to, or can you just do it from a laptop?
So we could be completely faceless. I've used my business partner's face a little bit, but we didn't need to. You can do it completely faceless. You don't need any camera talking skills. You don't need any skills like that because what the beautiful thing is you just pay other people. You've got so many content creators out there now. We just pay them. Here's some free stuff. Go and make some videos for us, and we can send that out to some videographers. Please edit this up, make us some adverts, put some AI over it. You can do so much stuff with just from your phone, your laptop, and not need to actually get your face in front of a camera. So you can be completely like anonymous to a degree.
Yeah. That's why I see a lot of people attracted to e-commerce is the fact that unless you want to put your face out there, or unless it helps, maybe you're in alignment with your target audience, then you don't have to. You don't have to, and you could either rip creatives if you wanted to, or for content. So when I talk about creatives, I'm talking about advertisements or content that you use to promote the products that you sell. You can effectively just either gift your products to certain creators or to certain influencers. Now, if they're a big enough influencer with a large enough audience size, you can give them a little bit of money and they'll effectively create the marketing content for your business. And then ideally, well, what you do and what George and his partner is doing at the moment is basically building an army of influencers, an army of creators who have the product. They constantly create new content showcasing all the different products in lots of different ways, image style content, video style content. And that's the content that we push through to social media, through paid advertising. And that's how you do it. And then you can get affiliate schemes and influencer incentive programs to really, really build it out. There's a lot that goes into the marketing strategy, but it's a little bit about what we've been working alongside with George and his partner. And I mean, George, obviously e-commerce isn't always, instant 4K days straight away. There are a lot of challenges that you have overcome in e-commerce. And for someone who's just starting out in e-commerce, or maybe on the fence of even getting started in e-commerce, what wisdom could you share with them? Because you have a lot of wisdom to share, George. What wisdom could you share with them in terms of maybe a challenge that you've overcome and every how you overcame a certain challenge in e-commerce that took you to that, 4K a day yesterday?
Yeah, so I'm a creature of habit. I love routine. I love consistency. Like my PT diary is pretty well meticulous. Every week it's the same. And I love that because it means I can tick all my boxes, get everything done, sleep really well, but be prepared for a roller coaster. Some days $1,000, some days 200. Literally, I think three times we had our record day, like $1,400, $1,900, and the very next day sub $200. and you wake up like right on a high, like this is gonna be a great day, and it's like there's just tumbleweed, the silence is absolute roller coaster. You just got to be ready that one great day doesn't mean you're going to be a billionaire by the next day, but also one bad day you can have the complete opposite effect. You can be so absorbed and like ready to cut your budget, but the next day you can literally have your record day. So it's be prepared to kind of assess the data over a longer period of time. Like we all look, I mean, in the day and age of social media, we're like such short-term gratitude. We need everything instantly. Whereas this, you've got to write it out for a week, a month. It takes time. But if you're patient and consistent, you can really build a brand. I think the longer we've been in business, the easier it is to sell to people because at the start, you're a brand new brand. No one knows who the hell you are. They're not going to buy from you. Have a think about it yourselves. Like if you see something, you're like, oh, I don't know who this is. I like their stuff, but you're not going to buy it because you don't know who they are. But you see a new pair of Nike shoes, you just buy it. No one cares. You don't think about it twice because you know who they are. You've got to give yourself time in the game to understand that people need to know you before they can purchase from you. And once they've seen your things like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, they know you're legitimate. They know you've been around. So that's when you're more likely to get the sales. So you've got to have some patience, understand it takes a bit of time, and also understand things are going to go wrong. You've got to learn real fast and adapt. That's what I think we took a little bit too long at the start because we struggled with getting some creatives up and running. We struggled with had to get them rejected. We struggled with loads of things. It just took a little bit of resistance from, I guess, Meta. They really made our lives as hard as possible. Got our ad account banned for like 3, 4 days. And then you're starting, not from square one, but you're starting from a little bit of a knockback. It's just all those little things. You're going to get hit left, right, and center. And you're going to get it when you least expect it. You've got to be resilient because it is stressful. And you've got to learn not to check your phone every 8 seconds, as my missus will tell you. Put your fucking phone down because it's annoying. And when you're sitting like yesterday, I was at golf on the YouTube on my TV, laptop, phone. Screen time must have been close to like 48 hours from combining screens. But you've got to learn to like almost disconnect from it. Just you can't impact it constantly. You got to let it do its thing. You got to let it ride out. And being able to somewhat detach will help you massively. But if you're on the fence about doing it and you want a different lifestyle, you've got to think, why do I want the different lifestyle? And am I prepared to put the work in to get that different lifestyle? And if you are, it's a no-brainer. Just got to make the jump because the longer you wait, there's 100,000 people doing this stuff every day. If you wait another year, it's millions more shops, millions more competitors. The earlier you get in, I mean, I wish I did it years ago, but the earlier you get in, the better. So if you're waiting, the longer you wait, the harder you're making your own life.
Yeah. The best time to start your first e-commerce business was 5 years ago, but the second best time to start is right now. And the opportunity in e-commerce is not going anywhere. In fact, if you look at the growth of e-commerce and even the growth of Shopify, which is the platform that we use to actually build these websites, it's literally growing by billions every single month. Like literally, like it's incredible. So yeah, it's been amazing. And I mean, George, how has the mentorship affected your ability to become successful? Obviously, I've been working with you on a one-on-one basis. How has the mentorship affected your ability to get to the stage that you're at within e-commerce?
It's blinding, unbelievable. We're both myself and my partner, we're very hands-on people. We will get shit done. But occasionally we're going to disagree, and we don't have experience. We're very hardworking people. We're very good at what we do on a day job, but this is new. We just don't have the answers. So having people that you can put a message in the group and we're like, what do you think of that? And within 5, 10, 20 minutes, we've got answers. Fantastic. We've got answers to the questions so we can carry on. It's made our lives getting to the point we're at so much quicker. It's probably saved us years and a hell of a lot of trial and error where yourself, Phil, Elliot, you've all got experience of trialing and erroring, and you know what works. You know what's got a better chance of working compared to we don't have a clue. So if we're trialing really basic stuff, we already tried split tested that, we know that doesn't work. But if you try this, it'll just elevate you to the next question of what do we need to trial and error. It's just really sped the whole process up of getting us to where we need to be, to the point we can do $4,000 on a delightful Black Friday.
Do you think you would have made 4K yesterday if it wasn't for our mentorship?
No, absolutely not. When I saw yourself and my partner talking about scaling the budget in the morning, I was not ready for that. I needed another bowl of Cocoa Pops and a coffee before we had that conversation. I was happy not spending too much money. Like, we'll sell a bit more, it'll be fine. If we have a $2,000 day, I've had a phenomenal day. And when we're talking about scaling, I'm like, it's 7:15 in the morning. Why can't we just be happy? And then when you get to the end of the day and I'm sat there with my laptop out, we're $100 away from $4,000. And I'm like, I will concede without you guys, we would not have done anywhere near the 4 grand. We'd have done 2 grand, and my partner and I would probably have argued a little bit and be like, well, let's not put too much more. We'll put some more in. But yeah, no, without you guys,
Wow,
we would never have done 4 grand.
that's insane. How much did you wake up? I know the answer to this. How much did you wake up to yesterday?
It wasn't a huge amount, was it? It was like 7. Was it $700 or was it more?
I think you texted me yesterday. You woke up, it was like 7 a.m. and you'd made 1,000.
Ah, yeah, it was. It was 1,000. It was over. I couldn't
I think it
remember.
was. I think
Yeah,
it was.
today was 400. Today was
Yeah.
400. Like, do you know, what, sod this. This is like 4,000 yesterday, 400 today. Like we're over a grand today. It's absolutely fine. But it's a mental roller coaster. But yeah, we're up to $1,000. That's when the conversation started with yourself about
Yeah.
scaling. And it was like, right, fine. We'll chuck some more money in the pot and
I
see
love
what
it,
comes.
man. Yeah, well, thank you so much, George. And obviously, you've been a pleasure to work alongside so far. Part of the big reason why George and his partner have become so successful in e-commerce and will continue to grow and grow and grow, and just build his their current brand into a real empire that lasts the test of time, is not only because of the strategy that we provided them, but most importantly, the execution. They work very, very hard. They listen to everything that we have to say, and they just follow exactly what we say. Okay. And they just do so without hesitation, and they execute flawlessly. Okay. It's a bit like, so obviously, George is a PT. He can give the perfect nutrition plan and the perfect training plan to a client. But unless they have the ability to execute and the people there to help, and the PT, which is George, to actually help that client execute on the nutrition and training plan, it's not going to get done. Okay. And it's all part of the execution. Okay. And yeah, let's just happy growing, happy scaling, George. I appreciate your time today.
Anytime, it's been an absolute pleasure. You guys have been absolutely brilliant. It's very much appreciated. It's gonna be a fun year of scaling and growth coming up as well. But it's still got the rest of, well, December starts tomorrow. We
Yeah,
got the Christmas chaos incoming.
I love it. Thank you.